Oh hey, how's it going? It's me, Chris. Uh Sorry that played through almost twice. I am was running a little behind today. My headphones weren't working and I don't know. And I got lots of announcements. But there's sales, new products. We got so much stuff going on. Um I forgot to pop out my chat window. Hold on, let me do this so that I can see that there's people here. Oh god. Happy Friday. While I'm flustered, I will say today I'm going to be drawing names, as you saw from the thumbnail. Been doing these a lot lately. They're a lot of fun. And also, I don't have to do any prep work ahead of time, so that is always a win-win. Um, I do these first come, first serve. I try to start with the names, the first people to comment from when the stream goes live, not from when people are just commenting while the stream is scheduled because, I want to do it while people are here, keep it fair, keep it engaging with the current audience. There is the ability to skip the line with a super chat of $20 and up. And those are the rules. I will try to answer as many questions as I can, but as you can imagine, as I'm drawing, it's a little bit difficult. But we've got some amazing channel moderators, including Matt, who is posting things into a live document so that I can see them so I don't miss any important questions. So if there's something really important, make sure you at Matt in the chat. And also shout out to Skippy McHaggis, the good Chad, Diana Lisa Robinson. We've got some moderation in the house. Not that we need that much moderation, but it's nice to see their blue names with a little wrench next to it. In case anything goes wrong, they can use that little wrench to fix the problem. Skippy said, glasses, who are you? Listen, I have very bad eyesight. I've been wearing contacts for most of my life, and I try every now and then to give them a little break with glasses. I hadn't gotten new glasses in many years, and I finally got new glasses, so I'm trying to let my eyeballs breathe so that I can continue using them throughout my the rest of my life. Because if I don't have my eyes, I can't draw your names. So that's who I am, Skippy. Diana Lisa says this is the Clark Kent today, and we usually see Superman. Hopefully, it doesn't affect my drawing. All right, so I gotta make some announcements. I turn off ads while I am live so that you don't get interrupted. So instead, I'm gonna do my own little ads right now to talk about some new products and give you all some VIP access to my Black Friday sale, which is now. Through December 2nd, you get 25% off everything in my shop with a promo code. Let me switch over to my Black Friday Steam. Here it is. There's a promo code, Black Friday 2024, 25% off everything. And I have two new exciting products to announce that are up for pre-order, which I'm anticipating both of them shipping around December 9th. I'm hoping it's a little earlier for both of them, but I was trying to get them out in time for holidays. So my plan is I will ship as fast as humanly possible as soon as they arrive, if they are, a holiday present or something like that. Or for yourself. Maybe it's for yourself. It's probably for yourself. Anyway, these new products. Number one is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but just been a little nervous because of the commitment. This is a new shirt, but it is a long sleeve shirt, and it's printed on both sleeves and on the front. So we got 3 print locations, printing all up the sleeves. All kinds of fun stuff in there. We got some little inside jokes from YouTube, other weird stuff. There's a little butt with arms and legs. I got the Piascik's logo in there. There's a taco friend. There's a hot dog bummer. It's a sad hot dog. It's like hot girl summer, but it's hot dog bummer. Doesn't make any sense, but that's how I roll. You know what I mean? Anyway, these are a limited run screen printed shirt, and pre-orders are live now. It'll be like the last one, the Good Talk shirt, where there's a limited amount, and then when they're gone, they're gone. Speaking of which, there is still some left, mostly larges. A lot of the sizes sold out. I got a few 3XLs that were highly requested, but no one ever ordered them. So there's that. Ooh, Julie. Oh no. Forgot to turn off my, forgot to go on Do Not Disturb, and I got a phone call. Okay. Howdy doody. Next up is something I've been working on for a while, and it's a new little mini book. It's a book of a collection of my favorite drawings from the last 2 years called Skulls and Lulls. This is like a 55-ish page book, just jam-packed with drawings that I've made. Some drawings that I made videos about, some are just other drawings. There's a lot of drawings in there. But it's a little book. It's not huge. It's 7x9 flat. When it's open, it's 14 wide by 9. But it's a good size. And these are printing now. So again, it's a pre-order, but I anticipate having them very early December, like the first week of December, so I can ship those out. And again, with the Black Friday code, you get 25% all of this stuff. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It's so crazy. Okay. Well, one more thing. Let's see. Let me switch over back to this. Okay. I also want to shout out the Retro Supply Co. sale, because their early Black Friday sale is going live, and it is 50% off everything, which is better than my 25% off, but it's a little bit easier for them because, they don't have physical products really. It's all digital items, so there's a little less overhead. I can't do 50% off on a shirt I'm paying a small fortune for, or books I'm paying to get printed. But anyway, my brush pack is available from Retro Supply Co. They're the ones who I put it together with. And also, I wanted to showcase this cool new Typefaces of Terror collection, because I thought these were super rad. There's some really cool hand-drawn fonts in here. Like, look at this Demonica one. That's super sick. All of these are super cool. There's this one, Haunted Visions. I think that's pretty awesome. All super cool. But everything's 50% off, and there's like free gifts. I believe when you order my pack for the Black Friday sale, I think there's a bonus thing where you get my lettering support doc as well. I think that's the case. But for Black Friday, my some of my Fresco stuff is available on Retro Supply Co. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing, but it might. I think it's just for the... We're going to see. We're going to see how it goes. It's a test. All right? The good Chaz is chanting hearts and thumbs, hearts and thumbs. Awesome. Vidar said, they look natural on you. You didn't notice the glasses. I appreciate that. It's hard for me to pick new ones. These are actually Nike, so I'm very sporty when I have these on. All right, so that's the Retro Supply Co. thing. I talked about that. Make sure, so their sale, as you can see here, 17 hours left. Their early Black Friday sale is their best sale. So like their actual Black Friday sale is not as good as the early one. So if you want to order from them, you should do it today. 17 hours is less than a day. So today's the cutoff. If you want to get the best possible deal, do that. Next week they have a Cyber Monday sale. I think it just doesn't have like the free bonus things. So there's that. Okay, is that all? Is that all I have to talk about? Oh, also, there's a couple new things in addition in the shop. I put together a a bundle because I realized I had a bunch of these little Fresco things, like the shape pack and the different shape packs and the brush presets. So I made a Fresco bundle if you wanted all of that. So you save a little money. It's a little bit discounted, so you can get it all four of those things in one thing. Um, and again, that promo code is it'll show up in a banner on my website, but I just want to pop up this screen again because it's kind of fun. Oh, I don't want the book off. I want to show my Black Friday graphic. Get it? Because like it's like black metal logo, but it's Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hi. Oh, another announcement. Uh, Next Saturday, a video is happening on someone you may have heard of, another big YouTuber. When I say another, I mean he's a big YouTuber. I'm not a big YouTuber. 1000 challenged me to one of his artist battles, and that video is coming out on Saturday on his channel. Check it out. I will also be releasing my version of the video where I show my side of it. But we're redesigning movie posters. It's me, 1000, and two other amazing illustrators and designers. And we're all designing Wes Anderson posters. And I finished mine. I can't tell you about it yet. But that's Saturday, so tune in for that. Pretty excited about it. He's got a big channel. Okay. Julie22, you said it's a snow day, so you get to watch south of Pittsburgh. That's crazy that we're already doing snow. Good Chad, you said you never did contact. Something of putting them in the eyes gives me the ick. Yeah, it started that way for me, but I did it so young, and I hated. Like, it was bad enough when I first found out I had to get glasses because I was kind of like when I was a kid, I didn't know how to throw or catch. Like, my dad never taught me how to do that kind of thing, and so I got picked last in gym, so I wasn't good at sports, and then I was like, oh, I got to wear glasses too. First chance at contacts, I was like, I can't be this nerdy. Okay, iPad. There's a chance I got the chat fixed, so I'm gonna try. We're just gonna let this yellow block sit there and see if anything happens. Diana Lisa Robinson says, by the fire with a cup of hot chocolate and marshmallows and the new Piascik. That sounds lovely. Okay, so the first super chat, the first name is a super chat, because we already have a super chat, which is crazy, is Searless Creative. People coming in here, giving me names of, sounds like business and not their names, semi-cheating. I'm just kidding, I don't really care. Searless. Why am I writing this so big? This is just me writing it down so I have a reference. Creative. I need to move the mic up because we're going to get too much ASMR. Nurtured by Nature Studio said, you bought my pack and you love it. I appreciate that so much. Searless. Okay. I think I'm just going to freestyle a little bit right here. Because kind of like this, like, we got some S's and could be kind of fun. I may bail on this, but I'm just sort of playing right now, seeing where it takes me. Gotta get warmed up. Getting just seeing where it takes me, because we got all these like curvy letters and they're kind of fitting together in a fun way. This might work. Oh, cause you know what? Maybe because this can kind of curve down. Maybe it can do some, like have some sort of relationship with the C. Some sort of relationship. Sounds like they're dating. Create a, so we got this big opening for the C now, but maybe we could put the R in there. I realized as soon as I hit go live that I left my coffee upstairs, and I was so sad. But it's gonna be okay. Okay, we can do something with this. Generally takes a few attempts to get to a direction I'm happy with, but this sometimes they just come together. I also need to move my mic so it's not attached to my desk in the future because it like wobbles. Hey, look at that. The chat is on the screen. It looks like in the future I need to change the size because you can't even see the names, but it works. I wonder if I can. Where I can just real quick. Let me. What are we doing here? Hey everyone. Let me answer a question. Mike M said, you'll double down on what Chris was saying. The Retro Spike of 50% off sale is amazing. I was able to grab several packs I've had on your wish list. That's amazing. Britt Meister said, congrats on the collab with 1000. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks. The lovely Shayna Piascik just brought me my coffee, I think. So that is great. I think it's going to be worth it because I'm going to do this real quick and we're all going to be happy. Let's see. Copy. I'm going to fix this because I can't fix it when I am not here, like not live, because I can't see it. So it's hard to edit it. So just bear with me for 1 second as I think it's going to be good. What? That's not. We're going to try once more, and then I'm going to give up if it doesn't work. This is so stupid. Why? Why do this? Searless with a 1S. I already messed up. I'm going to fix that. I don't know. Listen, you know what? The chat was a good idea, but it doesn't work. All right, there's 1S in Searless, and I am appreciative of that correction. It also will be easier because then we can like make it a little bit bigger and balance it out. Matt's got this document that I was mentioning before where he's got the notes, and there's a section for important, and it's like, it's got 2 little red exclamation points, but it looks barely different than anything else, and it's at the top. It's not eye-catching. Guys, look, I got my coffee. I'm going to be more coherent now, I think. Okay, Searless Creative 1S. Let's clean this up. We got some smooth curves and points, so I'm gonna do some clean vector on this one. I'm gonna use my crispy vector. I'm actually gonna use the monoliner so that I can get some sharp angles and not have to worry about like the pressure. Okay, so let's do this C first, I think. I don't really know why. I hope I don't regret this. Usually, if I like jump into tightening it up before I'm ready, sometimes I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have done this yet because I still need to figure some stuff out, but we're gonna hope for the best. Let me turn on music. So also, I mentioned my headphones weren't working, my earbuds, so I can like barely hear it in the background. But at least I can. I had to turn it down really low so it doesn't like come through in the stream. All right, I need to skip up to the top to do this, but I just wanted to kind of get these letters in. So because I'm working in vector, I'm using the vector trimming feature because I can get like the cleanest angles like this and like get smooth curves because I don't have to try to straighten them out as I go. Okay, so Darian Design said, what kind of coffee do you drink? I like a lot of coffees as an ease of like I would prefer better coffee, but for like a, what's the word? Because I'm lazy, we often have like the Starbucks ground coffee because it's easily available and when you need it quickly. But there's a coffee shop in town called Silk City that has really, really good coffee that I like going to. I usually prefer a blonde roast. I remember for the longest time, I would always get dark roast because I thought it had more caffeine because it didn't taste as good. And I always assume like, oh, if it doesn't taste as good, it's probably sort of how I treat medicine or healthy things. Like if it tastes extra bad, I'm like, oh, this must really work. But I remember when I lived in Boston, there was a coffee shop I used to always go to, and I think I said something like, oh, I gotta get the dark roast because I really need the caffeine today. And the barista was like, actually, there's more caffeine in the light roasts. And I was like, what? And from then on out, I enjoy coffee more, and it has more caffeine. Can you believe it? That's so crazy. All right, we're running into a hiccup already because we're gonna have this weird gap there. Mike M, I did not get a Bronco. Burtmeister said she's so proud of me for not letting the tech issue ruin my day. Yeah, I sometimes things just don't work. Actually, maybe we can get this E to just kind of come up like this a little bit. Oh, you know what? I don't have the names rotating right now and of my channel members, but I just need to because they're the best. Quickly shout them out because I have this graphic up here. All of my super supporters and above get their name drawn and included in all the videos I make while they are active members. And this is the current list of heroes that are supporting this channel. So thank you all so very much. I couldn't do it all without you. I was reminded because one of the most recent names that I drew was Britt Meista's down in the middle towards the bottom. So thank you. Whoops. Rice, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Have you ever considered making your brushes for Affinity? I don't use Affinity, and I don't love the process of making brush. Like, I'm not a brush person, someone who enjoys like that process. So I don't know. Like, I think if something changed and I was suddenly using Affinity more, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe there's someone who's like really good at brushes and like uses Affinity and wanted to like help me do that. Maybe I would do that. I mean, I would have no reason to not make them available for Affinity. I would just want to make sure, they're things that I like. I'm just not like I'm not like a software person in terms of like being nerdy about software. I'm not saying that you're. Let me try to explain this. I basically have always used just like whatever works best for me at the time. Like, I always think that I'm pretty software agnostic. Like, I talk about Fresco a lot, and I use Fresco because Fresco is like the app that I literally do all my work in. But it wasn't always the case. Before Fresco, there was a period where I just used Procreate. And then prior to that, there was like forever that I just worked in Photoshop. So I use whatever works best for me at the time. All right, I need to do some trimming because this is getting a little hectic. Mike Font said, can someone tell me how to do the quick delete of extra lines? Yeah. Vector trimming. So when you are using vector brushes, you got the moderator thing, this little circle down here. So if you tap it, double tap it, it turns blue in the center. And when it's blue in the center, it just works as like an eraser, like this. Does that with any brush. But if you tap it again and the blue's on the outside, that's vector trimming mode, and then you just draw through crossing lines. Like that. It's great. You get the sharpest, nice little clean points. It's delightful. Okay. We're gonna pick up the pace after this one. If you've been to my live streams before, you know that the first one is usually a bit slow because I gotta get into the zone. Brett Meister said, wow, I love it. Am I allowed to have a copy of it? The channel supporter name drawing? Oh yeah, just shoot me a message. You can do it through the contact form on my website. Okay, so we got this T. The other reason this is going slower is because I didn't do a tightened sketch ahead of time, which tends to help me because I can just bang this out quickly, but I'm like problem solving as I go. Like trying to figure out where these letters are all gonna fit, because I'm wanting it to fit together kind of tightly, and I'm already running into some problems. Like this, I think this T might need to come over here. And then, let's see. Bring this down here, like this. I get the eye. I'm just drawing the lines like extra long because I don't know exactly where I'm going to want them to end. So, because I'm using vector trimming, I can just go all the way down, as low as I want. In Tuesday's video, actually goes over a lot of this stuff. It's I think it's going to be called like about vector lettering tips. Like, I recorded the video, but I'm trying to decide like what the focus is, because it is vector lettering tips, but it's also using like vintage reference as inspiration and like recreating new things, like making new characters that don't exist in like the reference you're using, like new letters. Like if you're like, oh, I really like the style of this, but it doesn't say what I want it to say. But I do it in vector and give vector tips. So it's about vector lettering and also using like vintage reference. Well, it doesn't have to be vintage, it could be modern reference, but I do it using stuff from the amazing Retro Supply Co. lettering library. That is just, they have photos of like I think there's like 130 like out of print lettering in typography books that are just incredible. This looks so confusing, I bet, because I'm even getting a little bit confused and I know what I'm doing. But let's do some trimming. Let's do some weed whacking here so we can see what on earth is happening. Whoops. Skippy said, coffee is like pizza. There's good and crap, but they're both necessary. Yeah, I mean, even, well, I was gonna say that like even bad, yeah, but I mean bad coffee is better than no coffee. I support that. This got a little messy here, but it's gonna be okay because we're gonna fill in these letters, so I can touch them up afterwards. So with the vector trimming, one thing you gotta make sure is that the lines fully cross through. So you may have noticed, I did it quickly, but I tried to X one out and it didn't work. And I'll show you the problem when I get there in a second. To fix it, I just wanna trim these while, that's another one I think. Oh no, that one, I just was spazzy about it. Okay, so right here, this one does not trim for me because this ends before the end of that line. So if I go all the way through like that, and now when I go in trimming mode, it'll cut right off. Okay, so now I want to separate this. I'm trying to decide where I want to cut it. Go like that. Okay, we're getting close. All right, let's, oh, we got this E. Okay, so because a lot of this fits together really well, there's a couple spots that don't, that I just want to fix up a little bit. So I'm just gonna use it as an eraser to trim some of that, and then I think what I'll do here is just make this curve match the curve from the other letters a little bit better. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can pull this down a little further. So I don't want it to be perfect, but I want it to be close-ish. And I think maybe we can just pull this S in a little bit closer. Deselect. Cool. There's a little bit of a focal point in between the C and the R there, so I think I just want to just make that just a tiny bit wider, just to kind of remove, just to take a little bit of that that space, make that negative space a little bit smaller so it's less of a distraction. Cool. I think that turned out well. I hope you like it too. All right. Kazanko, will you ever do Clip Studio Paint? I mean, the problem is, like, if you were here earlier, I was talking about like software and not being like, I just use whatever works best for me. And Fresco works amazing for me. Like, I have no wants with Fresco, and so there's like no reason for me to use other software. Like, I wouldn't use something else just to use it. And I did do like a review of this Android drawing tablet, and I had to use Clip Studio on it, and I didn't love it, but it was because there was that learning curve, and like I'm so comfortable in Fresco, so there's that. Okay, next up is Slava Powers, another S1. Let me just write that down. And let me be careful this time because I've been making mistakes that have to get caught. It stresses me out. S-L-A-V-A and then Powers. That's a cool name. Powers! Powers! Alright. Maybe we do something powy? Like, pow! Powers! Because I can't resist it. Maybe it's like boom, bold. Maybe it's like 3D. Maybe it's a little smashy looking, like Powers. Something like that, and then like ooh, that was an accidental thing. Maybe cross the A with the L. Well, that's repeating shapes here, which is kind of cool. Vidar, you said it would be cool if that vector trimming would work with pixel brushes. Yeah, so I think although I agree it would be cool, I understand why it's like a vector thing, because like with pixel brushes you're just sort of like stamping an image, and with vector it's like literal points and curves. So when you have intersecting points, you can just cut that path. But those paths don't exist in raster artwork because it's literally like the equivalent of drawing on paper. Like, it's just you're marking with digital ink. So there's no path that they could just end the path. So I don't know technically how that would work. But it would be cool. I was trying to like try to balance the side with like a little curve thing, but I feel like it would need to reference the, well, maybe. It kind of got a little superhero-y here. Maybe we can like get the Slava to look better and then fit the powers to the space a little bit better. What? I was making a thumbnail and I pasted I accidentally pasted a layer instead of whatever I was gonna do, but that was funny. That was me trying to make a thumbnail image for Tuesday's video. Okay, let's merge these two down and let's try to figure this out, because I like these sort of repeating angle things happening. So maybe we can kind of lean into that. I always try to like find relationships between like the letter forms to try to figure out like how to make it, how to like tighten it up and make it look better. So like maybe it's like following that. Maybe this curves up to match the other thing. And then if we have that same angle over here, you get that sort of balance. I think I need to look at this on its own because I'm like distracted by the other stuff happening and it's making this not as cool. So I think those like angles really helped. So maybe we just need like another set of those to match. So like this, I think if we have a consistent angle for this L and then like these other angles, then it'll feel more cohesive. Let's turn off that so we can see that. So those are matching. Okay, so what I'll do is use these to just start to sort of make the rest of it feel better. I think that's the plan, at least. Okay. Let's bring the power back. Do something with the power, and then we can do like a better version of this. Jeff Berger said, have you ever used the Torbox Elite tool? I haven't. I have something to test out that's for Procreate. It's not the Torbox, it's something else. Maybe it's like a pen tips thing. Anyway, I think that's a similar thing, but I think it doesn't work with Fresco, and that's like mainly what I use. Or maybe it does. I don't know about that kind of stuff. I guess it would be cool. But Fresco's pretty good with the gestures and stuff like that. So the short answer is no. I haven't used it. Okay. So I'm just trying to like get these letters to fit better with the first name. Okay. Totally different than the last one, but I think it might be fun. Let's make it a little bigger, and let's bring down the opacity. And I'm going to switch to the classic anchor from my retro Pico brush set. I'm gonna bring the smoothing down for this. And I am going to start with this power slitter. I'm just gonna do like a kind of a shaky, explosion-y line. So I was like, as I've been working on the video to go along with the 1000 artist battle thing for my poster, I was like trying to, you know, do something interesting with the video itself, since maybe it'll get a wider or like a new audience because he's got such a big following. And you know, I do some weird stuff in my videos, and I ended up recording a brainstorming session with myself and 2 other versions of myself in the video, and it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever recorded. So look out for that next Saturday. It's maybe the most chaotic thing I've done, but it also feels so like such an accurate representation of my brain, like my ADHD brain, and I don't know if it's gonna translate. I feel like it'll either definitely resonate with you, or you'll be like, this guy is out of his mind, or you'll be like, this makes perfect sense. Big Nick Garcia, can you tell us the equipment you're using? Yes, I am using a 13-inch. Is it 13? I don't even remember anymore. I'm using the big iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil Pro, and I'm using Adobe Fresco. And I have a Sketchboard Pro 2 that the iPad is sitting in, which I should be putting an affiliate link for in the description, but I always forget to, because people always ask me about it, and you know, I should take advantage of that. Whoops. Missed the spot. let's switch back to the brush. I'm going to do a new layer just in case I want to make some adjustments here. Kind of want it to look, just to have some like energy and like, kind of like a splat-ish sort of thing. Or it's made out of electricity or something. It's some sort of power is bringing this to life. Just sort of like overshooting lines a little bit to sort of make it look more just quick flash of whatever. Daring Designs, you said you had to use a program you've never heard of before for a digital class at Tunxus a few years ago, but didn't get too deep into it. It was fun using filters and textures. Not sure if you know this, but I, a couple of years ago, taught a class at Tunxus. Did you know that? As I did. It was a design class. There was a while where I was like teaching a class or two a semester at it was mainly the Hartford Art School at the University of Hartford, but then there was like Eastern Connecticut State University and once at Tunxus. But I ended up stopping doing that because even though I was just teaching a class a semester, it still was hard for me to balance, especially now because I'm in like a weird transition period between like my main career as an illustrator and now YouTube being more of a focal point, but I'm not like full-time YouTuber status. So I'm like doing YouTube full-time, but also being an illustrator full-time. So it's hard to balance everything. Do I want that extra line around the top? It's a little not balanced based on how close the how like symmetrical the powers is. I'm curious if I can make a quick adjustment or come up with a different solution. One of the things I love about the modifier is using it as an eraser with a brush, because like I can just quickly match the texture and not have to like when you use Procreate, you could use a brush, you would just choose the brush, but you still had to go to the eraser and like switch it over. But here I just tap the modifier and it's instantly using it as an eraser. Okay, cool. Well, that's different. Let's clean up some of this mess. I'll put these two on the screen for a second. What is next? Another S1. Holy moly. This is S day. Okay. I realize I don't need to say these letters out loud while I'm trying to write them down. I'm just like extra paranoid because it like stresses me out when I get it wrong and then I see that people have been like panic telling me that I've been doing it wrong. Like, there's not another S. Sarah said just got the vector bundle. These brushes are awesome. Thank you so much. Robert Holden, drenched greetings from Sonoma, California. I'll be listening as I fill sandbag. Oh boy, that sounds rough. All right, let's I think I want to do a script one. I'm just sort of winging it. Sometimes when I do script, I will just sort of try it out and see, and then I try to like figure out what letter, like if there's letters that maybe can work together between like the two names. Like for example, maybe this T can connect, something like that. And I just sort of do it kind of quickly first and then kind of go in and figure out other ways to kind of make it fit together and like see where things can connect, just find some interesting ways to do it. So I think might be too much, but maybe we could like dot this I with the T and then pull this over. And oh, there's an I. So this is an I. And then this W-A-R-I. Maybe just get extra fancy, have more flourishes. It seems like it's all in the top though. Like that last one might be a bit much. Just trying to balance this. The left side is a little much right now. So what I'm gonna do is turn up the smoothing so I can get some better curves and try to just, I think maybe Chivas is too big. Oops. Let's start with that and then maybe see if we just kind of pull this. No. You know what? If we do it on another layer, might be easier. Well, maybe that's it. Like maybe it doesn't need that extra loop. Maybe it just needs to go like this. And then then maybe we can balance the swoosh on that side with a little swoosh action from this. Maybe that can dot the eye, and then this can like end here. Maybe. I shouldn't have deleted that other one so fast because we're not ready. Okay, we're gonna make this smaller. Come in like this. This eye. And then this come down here. This is the process. It's just sort of like playing around until you get it. And I think we might be there. I think it's just gonna fine tune this. Just reminding myself that those. Yes. Okay. Let's double check spelling. Yep. Okay. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it happen. Bryce said, do you find the board helpful? Boy, howdy. This is my favorite thing. I have a couple videos about this and the Dartboard Pro from Astropad, but both of them are just they just make the drawing experience so much better. They make the iPad feel so much better. It just feels so much more ergonomic. The angle is great. It is definitely my favorite accessory for drawing by far. I always draw in either this or the dartboard. Okay. I am going to do this in the classic inker because I want it to have a little bit of like a stamp feel. I'm thinking I'm gonna knock it out of a shape. Like I'm gonna draw it and then knock it out of like a black shape. I think that's the plan. Okay. Let's turn the smoothing all the way for this, and let's fix this a little bit. Oh, that's too thin. Definitely skip around a little bit when I'm doing this because I'm just trying to like get the important parts where they need to be for everything to kind of work the way I want it to. Which can be a little tricky with script because you're like matching angles and stuff like that, but because I did this, I was seeing that the T angle was a little off. So I need to find the right angle here where this comes in so that this isn't crammed, and I think that was it. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is make an overall shape, just loosely sort of, well, pretty tightly framing it, but not exactly. Like we can kind of minimize all that into one shape. Like that, fill that in, and then load as selection, and then come down to this layer and erase. And then I just want to dot this I. And there we go. I like it. I hope you like it too. So different than the last one. My phone said the way I get to work, you gotta stare at the page for at least 5 minutes. I hear you. That happens for some stuff for me, for sure. But with this kind of thing, I'm a little bit more comfortable. We got another super chat. This one is from Matt McGee. We suddenly have a name that does not have an S. How will I adapt? Matt McGee. So, I kind of need to be aware of the sort of like distinguishing the cap heights, like even if I do all uppercase, like for the making the C smaller, because I know that's important. All right, let's just play. Maybe we can like make some sort of little lockup thing with the M and the C to sort of fit them together. I wonder if like the G, maybe that starts coming in over here. But then what happens with the E's? Because we want those to be a little smaller, I guess. Maybe. Let's double T's. Tricky business. Because they like form weird negative space. Maybe we're like mixing style. Like maybe we do one of those like fancy lowercase a things. I don't know. The mat, we're struggling here. All right, we're at a point where we just need to turn down the opacity and make some assessments. So let's come up to, oh, I do like the repetition that might happen if we did like an A like this, because it's very similar to the G. They would sort of have like a similarity. And then what if like this is like a regular T that sort of flows around like that. And then maybe this one is like a lowercase t, so we could do that type of situation. We're just playing here. We're trying to figure it out. We're just trying to make it happen for Matt McGee. Just putting together a little puzzle is what's happening. What can we do? Could make it like a 3D shape from over this side, and then it would kind of help visually balance it. We're gonna mess with this a little bit. Brent, you said, are there specifics that influence which drawing board you use when you sit down to draw since you have both? Yes. I want to preface it by saying, like, I don't think you need to go out and buy both of them. I have both of them, so I use both of them, and they do have their strengths. So when I'm working at my desk, I always use the sketchboard too. I just think it's better for this situation, and it's more stable. It's like a cleaner design. But when I'm sitting on the couch drawing, watching TV, I use the dartboard because it's like a thick foam thing, so it's like softer, whereas this one is like thin, hard plastic, so it's like not that comfortable resting in your lap. So like I could just put a pillow there or something if I was using this one, but because I have the dartboard, I just leave it next to the side table upstairs, and I just pop my iPad in that when I go to when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV at night. And this one just sort of stays in my office on my desk. So my iPad just sort of moves between these two, but it's nearly always in one of them. And the only time it's not is if I'm like taking it somewhere, which is rare because I also have an iPad mini that generally will just come with me if I'm going somewhere. So I just want to sort of figure this out before I do a tightened up version. There's a couple little areas that I don't love yet. Like one of them, this T needs a little something. Maybe it needs to just be a little bit cooler. I don't know, I feel like we're messing around with like letter styles. Why not throw two different E's next to each other to just keep it like keep it a bit more lean into the weird aspect of it. Okay, let's make it happen. This looks like one that would benefit from a vector trimming, so let's do that. I think instead of the clean vector one, I'll use my gritty vector for this one. The VV Sharpie. That line weight is good. Oops. So with things like this where I want it to all fit together, I sometimes will draw like these long continuous lines that I may use to like influence how the other letters connect, if that makes sense. Like maybe I want the T to use that same line, and it'll give it like a more cohesive look. And then, like, for example, this long continuous line here for the A and the G really might pull things together. Looking a little chaotic, but it'll be okay. So maybe I'll... No, it's not gonna work. I was gonna try to see if I could have that M. We'll figure something out. Retro Supply Co., how's it going? Loving the lo-fi music. It's a good vibe for the morning. Thanks for tuning in. I mentioned the incredible 50% off sale you guys got going on. Especially with my pack. Obviously had to talk about that. If you're still here, can you mention what the deal is with the lettering support doc that I did? I believe we were doing something special. Is that happening? Or is that a secret? Did I blow the surprise? Or is it like happening now and then today's the last day? I meant to look on the website, but I had technical issues and I am behind. Okay, so just continuing lines to like find some special relationships between the letter forms. Let me try it again. I can't, sorry. Is it advisable to do a poster making it in Fresco? You certainly can. I do 99.9% of my work as an illustrator in Fresco, and I do all kinds of projects from, I've done stuff as big as billboards. I do all kinds of commercial projects. I did display graphics for an Adidas store in Fresco. I did animations for TV in Fresco. Worked on pattern designs for Nickelodeon in Fresco. All kinds of stuff. It's a very versatile app, which is why I like it so much. But it also doesn't have all like the extra stuff that I don't use, so it keeps things streamlined. Okay, let's see. Just deciding to put a little angle in there for fun. I think I'm going to trim some of this stuff off so I can get a better feel for how much space we need for that extra E. Not extra E, the other E. It's not extra. It's part of his name. Forgot to... Did I forget? Oh. Whoops, see, that was another example of not fully crossing through the line. And I guess while we're here, cross those off. Just want to make sure that those parts of the E are going to be long enough. Maybe we'll put that one on an angle. Retrosplyco said, if you grab the Chris Piascik pack for Photoshop and Fresco or the one for Procreate, you get my amazing, that's from Retrosplyco, I'm not saying it's amazing, I think it's pretty good, lettering support doc free sent via email after the thing. So if you buy either of my packs from Retrosplyco, whether it's Fresco or Procreate version, you get the lettering support doc for free. What a special deal. Okay, let's just pull the rest of this E over. Trim off, well. Okay, now let's just do the 3D part. So I'm just gonna kind of pull these lines over like that, and then I'm gonna freestyle that curve, pull that one in, and then you just want to find these spots over here. I sort of just cheat on these, I'm not trying to be exact, and then you can just come in here and all right, let's fill this stuff in. And let's delete that. Missed one spot over here. And then there's like a tiny bit of oh, I was on the wrong layer, that's why it wasn't working. Couple minor tweaks that I just want to do. For example, just want to smooth this out a little bit better. And I think I'm going to use this as an eraser and just widen this a tiny bit. And this as well, this T looked a little thin. And then I think I just pump that up a little bit. Maybe this. tiny bit. Since they're getting thinned out so much. Cool. I think that's fun. I hope you like it, Matt. We got quite a bit of a variety so far today. Where's the... Just do a quick pop-up while I get another one ready. Good thing about these vector ones is I can make them smaller, and there's that one. I don't want to shrink that one down because that one is raster. I don't want to shrink it. Okay, Sketchy. Next up on the list, is another super chat, which I believe is red, but we are confirming if that's what they want drawn. In the meantime, Retro Splyco, you said, congrats on the Hot Wheels project. Looks amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Katie's Creative Creation said, Chris, you should draw an ADHD dragon. What would that look like? I like the idea. I have a dragon going through a donut tattooed on my arm, which is a little bit ADHD. Skibby, you said, are you streaming next Friday, Black Friday? I am planning on it. I gotta confirm, but I'm pretty sure I am. Do we have an answer on red? Or should I move on? Draw red. Yes, okay. This is just 3 letters, and you may be thinking, oh, that should be easy. But it's less to work with, puts a lot of pressure. So, I don't know. I just gotta start sketching. It is an R, though. I like drawing R's. Maybe we could do like a fancy R. Then it's like, we just got these other letters, so like, what can we... Am I just gonna wing it first shot? Are we getting close right off the bat? Did that just happen? Let's see what we can do with this. This feels like we're getting something. I think maybe if this came out a little further. And this. Something got lost in the translation there that I don't like, so I'm going to come back to this other one. Sometimes try to refine something and then you don't like it as much. Ernest Khan, you said just picked up some of your shirts and stickers last night. I love your art, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Shiva's Jungle, thank you so much, Chris, for your time and efforts. Loved it. That was my first ever comment on YouTube, and it was totally worth it. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Kind of like the idea of this sort of combination. It's not what you would expect, like this lowercase e script going into like a uppercase D, and then like sometimes I like combining things or doing stuff that is not what it should be, or like not something that like obviously could not be done with a font, and like making it clearly this like special hand-drawn lockup thing. Also like the repetition of shapes with the R and then that cutout where the R, E, and D has a nice little visual rhythm. I think that is the one I want to go with. So let's delete that. Let's tighten this up. Let's see what we can do with like these angles to match them up. Maybe I'll get like precise here and use this drawing aid to sort of match that curve exactly. Let's start with this part. Somehow switch to white. Okay. So I'm just gonna trace that, and then what I'll do is transform this ellipse with the modifier to like stretch it out from the center, and then let's see. Now let's do the other part. I'm experimenting here. I don't know for sure if this is gonna do exactly what I want it to do, but it might. I think this is not what I want, but it might be a good visual reference. All right, let's turn that off. This is why I'm not a math person. Let's try a different way. Let's take this and duplicate that. Let's move it down. Trying to like I think what I'm going to do is just use this as an a supplemental guide, if you will. And I'm going into the VB Sharpie, and I am bumping up the size. Sometimes you just gotta eyeball it. Illustrating. You had no idea the ruler had other shapes to use. That will be greatly helpful in the future. I do talk about that in the video that's coming out on Tuesday. That's like vector lettering tips, but also not just vector. Still figuring out how that's being packaged. But I do use that tool in there. Nick James, you said, learning so much from you today. I sketch in black and white and white pen and ink. And I would like to have t-shirts printed. Hold on, let's see. You sketch in black and white, pen and ink, and you would like to have t-shirts printed. So what do you think is the simplest way to do this? Or are you talking about like taking your pen and ink drawings and getting them printed on shirts? What I would say, if that's the case, is you really just need to scan them in at high enough resolution, and if they're just pen and ink, black and white, you just want to make sure your artwork is like completely one color so they can make this screen. You could just like bring it into Photoshop or something and either use like the threshold, or like there's a filter called stamp, which will just make it pure black and white. And then it should be ready to go. Doesn't have to be vector unless you have a weird printer who's like requiring it, but usually they don't need it to be vector. Oftentimes they'll just say it needs to be vector because most people don't know what they're doing and will try to get something that's low resolution printed that they just like got off the web or don't know how to save files. But as long as you're working high res, vector is usually only needed for specific applications. So one thing that's annoying about the vector trimming is you can't trim a continuous line. So like this line is crossing over itself. So I'm just gonna erase it. Actually, I didn't even need to do that because I'm filling it in. Okay, so now what I want to do is just make sure I'm on the right layer and then just sort of trim that a tiny bit so we've got that good repetition there. And I think I want to do a shape around the whole thing. So I'm just gonna do some long continuous lines to make sure that it's nice and tight and smooth, which none of these lines are long enough because I didn't account for the curves in my letter forms. I think that little notch is a little fussy. So I think what I want to do instead is just try to find a line that kind of just flows like that. And yeah, I think that's the solution. And then real quick, and then I'm going to come up to the layer above, select inside that shape so I can erase it from that, and then merge those two down. Cool. I like it. I hope you like it too, Red. Whoops. All right. Kami, you said, what would you recommend using the regular brush for art to display online or vector brush? And what would you recommend exporting the file as? You know, it's whatever you're more comfortable with. You get different looks. I mainly work in raster because I prefer a more analog look, which is a lot easier to achieve with pixel-based brush, because in vector you're very limited to, like, everything has to be made of specific points and curves. Sharing online, no matter how you create your artwork, if you're posting it online, you're posting like a PNG or a JPEG, those are not vector. So it doesn't matter if you worked in vector, you're going to be exporting a non-vector file. So it's more along the lines of what you're most comfortable working in. Images for the web don't need to be nearly as big as things for print. So, you know, there's posting online is like the easiest possible solution. The two options are PNG or JPEG. If you've got a lot of texture and color gradations, JPEG is going to suit you better, but if you have a lot of flat color, PNG is going to be a smaller file size, but they're both going to be pretty small. I'll do one more. Let's do October Keep. Glad it was fun to watch, Red. I got my smoothing turned all the way up, so I can't write fast. October Keep. Well, October, you're not keeping because it's November. How about that? Okay. I kind of want to do like an October is like a kind of a spooky month, so maybe like some like kind of spooky, kind of flowy situation. Maybe. What the heck is playing on this song? This is DJ Matt's playlist. This one's a little... I don't know how I feel about this song. This is getting nuts. I can barely hear it though. I have it on so quiet just to know that it's on because I had headphone issues. Okay, I like the way that's looking. Make it a little bit smaller so I can have room to sketch the keep. Just trying to like keep it somewhat balanced. Okay. Let's so I think I like this overall, but I want to sort of adjust the overall shape a little bit. So I'm going to just give myself sort of a guide to work from. I'm actually going to do it in pink and vector just so I can clearly see the difference. So I just want to like be more intentional with the flowiness. So I'm just gonna kind of do something like this. And just gonna roughly use that to influence how I tighten up this sketch. Too big. So I'm mainly copying it, but like fitting it to this overall shape that I drew. I'm still like being super loose because I'm figuring out how it's gonna fit. But this is like enough for me to work from. But just being a little bit more intentional with how I'm working to a shape, I think makes it more dynamic. Okay, so let's do a good version. This one, I'm gonna use the classic inker. Will, you said, what size and resolution canvas did you use for Hot Wheels? So the packaging for Hot Wheels is small. It's, you know, they're like maybe like 6 inches wide. So if you think about 6 inches, if you need to work, if the final print size needs to be 100% scale at 300 DPI, that 6 inches wide times 300 for the dots per inch is only 1800 pixels, I believe, and that is not my that's not enough pixels for me to get the detail that I want, especially because I was using texture. So that's what I started with the proportions I needed, and then I just increased the resolution until I got to, I don't know exactly what I worked at, but my comfort, I prefer like a width for my drawing to be minimum 4,000 pixels. So I just kind of upped the resolution until I got between 4,000 and 6,000 pixels for the width, because that gives me the most control over the brush and textures. And then I just, saved it smaller at the end when I was delivering the files to them. But yeah, I 300 DPI at that small size wasn't big enough for me to have enough control over the work. So it didn't exactly answer your question, but it's whatever size got me closest to 5,000 pixels wide. All right, so let's pull this. I think I'm gonna adjust the bottom of the T here because I think this K could kind of flow into it, and then I'll like separate them afterwards because I think it looks a little too small if I had to bring it all the way down there. Generally, I'll start like working on the bottom word at the same time, but I didn't today for some reason. Okay, so the issue here is the P was getting a little jammed. So if I was like focused and not distracting, I would have started here and like drew this P in and then adjusted the other letters accordingly. But I was distracted, so I didn't do that. But what I can do is just kind of shorten this other stuff a little bit. Just so that it doesn't feel just like crammed in there. It's better that it's not the actual last letter, because like we can sort of cram this E a little bit, but it won't look like we ran out of space because the P fits there fully and the letters are sort of fit together in this kind of cool way. Big Nick Garcia, he said the Hot Wheels art was fire. You're deaf behind them. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see them in stores. Okay, so what I think I'll do now is just like erase out some stuff to clean it up. Actually, a nice way to do this, if you're not exactly sure what you're going to do, is to make a new layer and then just choose white. And this way you can sort of keep the original and then just erase out of it when you're satisfied. Like you just load the layer as a selection. And then I think it's kind of fun to just sharpen up some of these points a little bit to go with the creepy vibe. And you can be less concerned of like messing things up or erasing too much when you're doing it this way, because we're on a separate layer and we're just kind of drawing over it. But we'll just be able to very quickly just load this layer as a selection when we're done, and then we can just erase it from the black below. Okay, cool. So you just tap on that layer, go to load as selection. Then we could delete that layer, and then we just erase. And now we have kept our October. It kind of feels like maybe it wants a little bit of texture. I want to just try one simple thing real quick. So I'm just going to go on a new layer and grab one of my texture brushes from my Retro Splyco pack. Let's choose this Color Distress Max. And then let's do another layer with a lighter texture. Like, we'll do the regular Color Distress one. Actually, I want to go a little bit lighter for what I want to do here. Okay, so like that, and then this one, and then we can take this one and just slightly offset it to get that like misprint sort of look. And that was quick and easy. It looks pretty neat if you ask me. Look at that texture. Really brings it to life. It's so quick and easy. Well, that was fun. Thank you all for hanging out and tuning in. Don't forget about the Black Friday sale. The promo code is on the site. Pre-order those shirts. Pre-order that book. And I'll see you all soon. Look out for that 1000 collab video next next Saturday. Sorry, I got distracted. I saw a text message, but it was an old one. I messed something up. It's been fun. You're all the best. My chat disappeared. It's gone. I can't see it. I don't know what happened. I'll see you all soon. I'll see you next week. New video on Tuesday. Okay. Bye, everyone.